My name is Daniel Hayes. I'm 35. A single dad to the most curious 8-year-old girl you could ever meet, Sophie. Life hadn't been kind to me the past few years. My wife, Emily, passed away when Sophie was just a baby. Since then, it's been just the two of us against the world. I work 2 jobs, one as a part-time translator for a small local agency, and another as a night shift security guard. It's not glamorous, but it keeps food on the table and Sophie in school. It was a warm Saturday morning in New York City. Sophie and I had our usual plan: head to Central Park, feed the ducks, and share a pretzel from our favorite cart. I didn't know that day would pull me into an unexpected adventure. As we walked near Bethesda Terrace, I noticed a group of tourists standing in a tight circle, looking completely lost. Their eyes darted around. They whispered frantically to each other in different languages: French, Italian, German. They were clutching a folded map and looking at their phones with zero signal. Sophie tugged my sleeve. "Dad, they look worried. Can't you help?" I hesitated. I've always been the kind of person who stays in my lane. But Sophie's hopeful eyes always have a way of breaking my hesitation. I took a deep breath, walked over, and greeted them in English. Their faces lit up. Finally, someone who could understand. But then, one of them spoke rapid French. I switched languages without thinking. Then another tried in Italian. I responded. Then German. Before I knew it, I'd spoken to them in 8 different languages, all the ones I'd learned over years of study and travel. Back when my life was full of dreams and before reality hit me hard. They were trying to find their bus, but it had left without them. The group leader was pale, panicked. They had no idea how to get back to their hotel. Sophie squeezed my hand. "Dad, let's help them." And so, without planning it, we became their guides through the city. While helping them find the right subway line, I noticed her, a woman in her early 30s standing slightly apart from the group. She had this calm, observant look in her eyes, like she was studying me, not the city. A red scarf framed her face, and when she smiled, it was the kind of smile that seemed knowing. She didn't talk much at first. But when we sat down on a bench to wait for the train, she finally spoke, in flawless Spanish. "You speak 8 languages?" she asked, impressed. I chuckled. 9, if you count my daughter's made-up fairy language. Sophie giggled beside me. "It's a real language, Dad." The woman's laugh was warm, genuine. That's a rare gift. Most people barely master one. Something about her presence was grounding. Even though the group was stressed, she looked like she had everything under control. But I didn't know then. She wasn't just another tourist. We got on the downtown train together. Sophie sat between us, chatting with the tourists, pointing out little facts about the city like she was the tour guide. The woman leaned toward me and asked softly, "Why do you help strangers like this?" I shrugged. "Because sometimes life puts you in situations where you wish someone would help you. I've been there." Her expression softened. "I know what you mean." She told me her name, Elena. Just Elena. No last name. As the train rattled on, she shared that she'd been traveling for weeks, trying to escape the constant pressure of her job. She didn't say what her job was, but her tone carried the weight of someone who bore a lot of responsibility. We got the group safely to their hotel. They were endlessly grateful, taking selfies with me and Sophie, thanking us in every language they knew. Elena lingered. She asked if we could walk her to a cafe nearby, just the 3 of us. We sat at a small corner cafe with mismatched chairs and the smell of fresh croissants in the air. Sophie devoured a chocolate pastry while Elena and I talked. She asked about my life, and for some reason, I told her everything. About Emily, about raising Sophie alone, about the nights I'd stayed up translating documents just to pay for school trips. She listened without interrupting, her eyes never losing focus. When I asked about her life, she hesitated. Then she smiled faintly. "Let's just say I work in management. A lot of people depend on me. Sometimes it feels like too many." There was something about her that I couldn't shake, like she was hiding a world behind that calm face. Before she left, she gave Sophie a folded paper crane and told her it was for luck. A week later, I got a phone call. It was Elena. She said she wanted to meet. When we did, she finally revealed the truth. She was the CEO of a global travel company, the same one that had arranged the trip for the group we'd helped. She'd been traveling incognito, trying to understand the traveler's experience firsthand. And she'd been watching me, not just for my language skills, but for how I treated people. Then she said the words that knocked the air out of me. "I want to hire you, Daniel, full-time, as our head of multilingual guest experience. You'll travel, you'll earn more than you do now, and Sophie can come with you." It felt unreal. All the years of struggle, the late nights, the doubt, suddenly someone saw value in me. I took the job. Within months, Sophie and I were traveling the world. She learned to say thank you in more languages than I could count. And Elena? Well, let's just say our professional relationship didn't stay purely professional for long. We started with coffee dates in Paris, strolls in Rome, sunsets in Santorini. Sophie adored her, and for the first time in years, I allowed myself to imagine a future that wasn't just survival. Sometimes I think back to that day in Central Park. I just wanted to help a few lost tourists. But in doing so, I found not just a career, but the possibility of love again.